bring on Rolly. You know, he's part of BMBC. We already ran it once with BMBC. I didn't get my get back. So I'm going to beat Rolly, and we're going to have...
Ryan Garcia has relentlessly taunted Rolly Romero ahead of their fight, calling him the easiest payday of his career. He has mocked Romero as a clown unworthy of sharing the ring with him. In a recent interview, Garcia even joked that sparring with his trainer would be more challenging than facing Romero. His bold statements have added fuel to their heated rivalry as the fight approaches.
And he's a tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. The warning people, he cannot be, having to be myself, Javante Davis, and depression.
Ryan Garcia continued his taunts on social media, posting, "I'm bringing the broom on May 2nd, sweep time," implying total domination over Rolly Romero. He didn't stop there, claiming Romero's style is predictable and that his only chance of winning is to pray for a miracle. Refusing to back down, Romero fired back, calling Garcia all Instagram, no substance, suggesting Ryan's fame is more about social media than actual boxing skill. However, his comeback failed to gain traction, as most fans see Garcia as far superior in talent and ability. The relentless trash talk between the two has only intensified the anticipation for their May 2nd showdown, creating a powder keg atmosphere. With egos clashing and tensions rising, the fight promises to be as explosive as the build-up. Oscar de la Hoya, Ryan Garcia's promoter, has fully embraced the heated build-up, calling it the most anticipated boxing event of the year. He boldly claimed that the Cinco de Mayo weekend fight in New York would surpass anything fans have ever witnessed in the sport. De La Hoya compared the event to historic throwbacks, reminiscent of legendary boxing bouts held in iconic outdoor arenas like Yankee Stadium. The Ryan Garcia fight against Rolly Romero is going to surpass everything you've ever heard of, anything you've ever seen, De La Hoya declared. Hyping the matchup as a monumental spectacle, he promised an unforgettable night that would solidify its place in boxing history, raising expectations to an all-time high.
He's gonna fight Rolly, accept the bout with Rolly. I give him $200,000 cash if he beat Rolly. Now, once he loses to Rolly, I don't want him to ever say Tank name again.
For casual fans, Oscar de la Hoya's excitement may sound convincing, but die-hard boxing followers aren't buying the hype. The reality is that Rolly Romero has already been knocked out twice and looked unimpressive in his last fight against Manuel James. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia is at the peak of his career, making this matchup feel more like a mismatch than a legendary showdown. The undercard doesn't do much to boost excitement either. Devin Haney is set to face Jose Ramirez, who's coming off a loss to Arnold Barbosa Jr. overall. Fans remain lukewarm about the event, with many seeing it as more spectacle than substance, far from the historic night De La Hoya is promoting.
No, in front of you and ready to go.
I'm very filled right now. I'm very filled.
Do you feel a little disrespected? Because everybody says if he wins this fight, he's going to Haney immediately. So do you feel like you're getting a little looked over?
My daughter's on my undercard.
What weight is the fight out?
47.
What's De La Hoya supposed to do? Admit it's a one-sided card, saying, "My guys in a mismatch on a so-so event won't sell tickets." His job is to promote his fighters and generate buzz, and that's exactly what he's doing. To his credit, De La Hoya is at least trying to add some prestige to the event. By referencing boxing's past and hyping it as an unmissable spectacle, he's working to make the fight feel bigger than it is, even if fans aren't fully buying in.
They're definitely going to sell a lot just because they both got a unique personality.
Some boxing insiders believe De La Hoya is simply stirring the pot, a classic promoter move. One fan even tweeted, "Hype the fight, talk it up like it's Ali Frazier, and hope no one remembers that Rolly got code twice before." Interestingly, the Haney vs. Ramirez matchup has sparked more curiosity than genuine excitement. Haney's last fight ended with him taking a brutal beating, and fans are eager to see how he responds. There's a real possibility that he could fold under pressure, raising questions about his mental and physical recovery. Speculation is already swirling about whether Haney has fully bounced back from his last defeat, adding an unexpected layer of intrigue to an otherwise lukewarm event.
Situation. I see that that's the most tension. Is there real beef there, or is it just you want to get ahead and you see him as a guy that you sparred a lot and you feel you should be in that position?
No, I want to chop that kid's head off.
Why?
Hey.
If Jose Ramirez has anything left in the tank, he could very well end Devin Haney's run for good. Haney's team, however, insists he's ready to bounce back strong. Meanwhile, Oscar de la Hoya revealed that Isaac Pitbull Cruz was considered as an opponent for Ryan Garcia, but Cruz turned it down due to a prior commitment. Maybe next time if Ryan wins, de la Hoya said, "We're always trying to make exciting fights." Fans were quick to point out that Cruz would have been a far better matchup than Rolly Romero. Many believe promoter Turki Alalshik should find last-minute replacements to give the event more credibility.
I mean, I would say Pitbull Cruz is a more difficult fighter than Ryan Garcia, wouldn't you agree? He's much more durable. He punches. He's aggressive. Ryan Garcia's would run like a turkey. Like I said,
De La Hoya's hype machine isn't slowing down. He continues to emphasize how special Cinco de Mayo weekend is for boxing, insisting Garcia's fight will be extraordinary. However, most fans aren't buying it. They expect Garcia to dominate Romero with little resistance, making for an entertaining but one-sided fight without much suspense. While De La Hoya promotes this as a historic event, many are already looking past Romero and toward Garcia's next potential opponents, especially Devin Haney. The real intrigue lies in what comes after this fight, not in a bout that feels more like a mismatch than a true challenge.
Do you want that rematch with Ryan Garcia? Is that something that's like, man, I gotta get that back? It's right here. I get it back right now. Because it's just, you know, if somebody did you like that, you want to take it. I did that already.
The biggest intrigue for fans now is how Devin Haney performs in his upcoming fight. After his last defeat, his reputation took a major hit, and many wonder if he can ever reclaim his former glory. Some believe Haney might already be mentally checked out, taking this fight just for the payday. If Jose Ramirez manages to pull off an upset, it could mark the end of Haney's career at the top level of the sport. Meanwhile, Oscar de la Hoya's job remains the same: sell the fight, keep the hype alive, and convince fans this is a must-watch event, regardless of whether it lives up to expectations. Ultimately, the real question is whether Haney can survive this fight and bounce back, and whether Ryan Garcia will finally move on to more serious competition after what many see as an easy matchup against Rolly Romero.
I still think Devin Haney can beat Ryan Garcia.
Oh yeah, I think
Don't fight that type of style.
Yeah.
Don't stand right in front of him.
Yeah.
Do your Devin Haney, and get out of there.
And that's what you do with rematches. You find everything you did wrong. You know it instantly after.
Either way, fans are ready for the drama to unfold. But the biggest buzz right now isn't just the fight. It's Ryan Garcia's decision to reunite with Eddie Reynoso. While some are excited about Garcia returning to the coach who guided him to one of his best performances against Luke Campbell, others see it as another chaotic move. Critics argue it's just another chapter in Ryan's ongoing struggle to stick with one trainer. His abrupt departure from Derek James after only 2 fights has raised questions. Is Garcia's real issue about trainers, or is there something deeper at play? With his unpredictable career moves, many wonder if his biggest battle isn't just in the ring, but within himself.
Romero Ryan Garcia would be an amazing fight. You know, me and Ryan sparred way back when. You know, we sparred twice, and there's always it's gonna be. I mean, that fight will sell out. I know that fight will sell out. That's one of
Ryan Garcia's time with Derek James initially seemed promising. Known for his no-nonsense training style and ability to develop elite fighters, James was expected to elevate Garcia's game. Yet, the partnership fizzled quickly. While Garcia secured a solid victory over Oscar Duarte and delivered an impressive knockout of Devin Haney, critics noted inconsistencies in his performances. Many felt he relied too heavily on his signature left hook and lacked a clear defensive strategy. Boxing insiders have raised eyebrows at Garcia's constant trainer changes. After parting ways with Joe Goosen, who coached him against Gervonta Davis and Javier Fortuna, he moved to James, only to return to Eddie Reynoso. The pattern is becoming hard to ignore. Rather than addressing deeper issues, Garcia seems to switch trainers whenever things don't feel perfect, leaving many questioning his long-term stability.
I mean, I hope he keeps training with Derek James. It was a good performance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
He stopped Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was great.
Ryan Garcia's father, Henry Garcia, has defended his son's decision to reunite with Eddie Reynoso, insisting the move wasn't a knock on Derek James, but rather about comfort and positivity. There wasn't anything out there in Texas. Last year wasn't as positive for Ryan as it is here, Henry explained. So why stay somewhere negative when you can switch it around? The comment sparked controversy, hinting that Ryan may have felt out of place in Texas. Critics quickly accused him of avoiding being pushed too hard.
Let's be honest, man. Tank's toughest opponents by far has been me. Me and him are gonna run that back. I'm gonna get my world title May 13th, and then me and him gonna run that.
What happened? Come back to get it rolling.
Tank had him from the beginning. Like, I'm not saying about the game prior to that. I can see what's going on.
Henry Garcia added that being back in Southern California, closer to family and familiar surroundings, has put Ryan in a better mental space. While this makes sense on paper, some fans see it as an excuse. One Twitter user bluntly commented, "Ryan Garcia doesn't need another trainer, he needs discipline. Changing coaches won't fix that." Adding to the controversy, Teofimo Lopes recently joined Eddie Reynoso's camp. With Ryan and Teo set to fight in February 2026, it creates an unusual dynamic, even if they won't train together.
Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez at 147 makes sense. I got Teofimo Lopez. I think he beats Ryan Garcia. The way Ryan could beat him is by...
Teofimo Lopes is known for his competitive, almost antagonistic attitude, and fans are already speculating about potential sparks if he and Ryan Garcia cross paths in Eddie Reynoso's gym. Could training under the same roof lead to mind games and added tension before their scheduled fight in February 2026? Adding to the intrigue is Reynoso's most famous pupil, Canelo Alvarez, who had a public falling out with Garcia in the past. At one point, Canelo openly criticized Ryan's dedication to the sport, causing friction between them. However, Henry Garcia insists the tension is resolved. Canelo and Ryan worked out everything. It was just a misunderstanding, he claimed. Whether that's true or just PR spin is up for debate. Many fans remain skeptical, doubting that Canelo, one of boxing's most disciplined fighters, fully trusts Ryan, who has often been criticized for lacking focus.
See at welterweight.
Yeah, down the line, you'll see. It can be one of the biggest fights in the history of boxing, if not the biggest fight in the history of boxing, and you'll see.
You think he's got more skills right now than Devin Haney? This Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, fuck yeah, what the hell? Ryan Garcia is like the fucking... Man, people don't realize that this motherfucker punch harder than fucking than Devin. I think he punch harder than Tank.
Then there's the looming fight with Rolly Romero. Let's be honest, this isn't the kind of fight that requires Ryan Garcia to be at his best. Romero has a weak chin and limited skills, making him more of a journeyman than a serious contender. Garcia could likely knock him out with his eyes closed. Critics argue this fight is a gimme, questioning whether Garcia is using it as a low-stakes tune-up to test his reunion with Eddie Reynoso. If you're going to switch trainers, do it for a real fight, not this clown show, one fan posted on Instagram. Meanwhile, Garcia's suspension from the New York State Athletic Commission after his knockout of Devin Haney still lingers in the background. Though lifted, it's clear his camp is managing his return carefully, with some seeing the Romero fight as just a low-risk warm-up.
And we know damn well he don't really want the rematch because he just claimed, "I don't want no rematch." So there won't be no rematch. I beat the shit out of him. It was the easiest fucking fight I've ever had in my life. So I'm not gonna fight him again. I felt like I was fighting an amateur. I made it look like...
Regis Prograis has stirred up discussion with his recent comments on the upcoming Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero fight. While most fans expect Garcia to dominate, Prograis isn't ruling out the possibility of an upset. His reasoning? A 2018 sparring session between the two. According to Prograis, that session showed enough to make the May fight in Times Square unpredictable. "I saw the sparring footage," Prograis said in a recent interview. "Rolly was beating this out of Ryan in the gym. He's wild, and sometimes it's hard to time and fight someone that unpredictable." While many still favor Garcia, Prograis' comments have added a layer of intrigue to the matchup. Prograis continued by saying that both fighters have the power to land big shots, making the matchup tricky to predict. Ryan can land big punches, and Rolly can land big punches. "I'd favor Ryan, but it's not predictable. Rolly could catch him with something," he explained. Despite favoring Garcia, Prograis sees a potential path to victory for Romero, which surprised many. After all, Garcia is far more experienced now than in 2018. Back then, he was just 19, still growing into his frame, while Rolly was already 22. At 26, Garcia is now a much more polished and physically mature fighter. Some analysts believe that if Rolly Romero tries the same aggressive, bum-rushing tactics he used in that 2018 sparring session, he'll end up flat on the canvas, courtesy of one of Ryan Garcia's deadly left hooks. Rolly's wild style works against lower-tier opponents, but against someone like Garcia, it's just asking for trouble. One boxing commentator said, "Ryan's speed and precision will punish any reckless moves." Romero's professional record also raises eyebrows. Officially, he's 16-2 with 13 knockouts, but many fans argue that his controversial wins against Ismael Barroso and Jackson Marinas should have been losses, making his true record 14-4. These perceived flaws in Rolly's career are why so many were surprised when this fight was announced in the first place. Critics were shocked that Turki Alalshik didn't step in to block this matchup. "If it were up to me, there's no way Rolly is headlining a Times Square card," one critic said. "He's barely suitable for the undercard." Regis Prograis didn't just weigh in on the Garcia versus Romero fight. He also shared his thoughts on a potential Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney rematch. Despite the controversy surrounding their last fight, Prograis still favors Garcia to win again. Ryan tested positive for Osterine after beating Haney, leading some fans to believe the banned substance played a major role in his victory. But Prograis isn't convinced. "This still happened," he said bluntly. Ryan hurt him, dropped him 3 times. Prograis also pointed out how Haney's excessive clinching made him vulnerable to Garcia's short left hooks. Haney's reliance on clinching dates back to his fight with George Linares, where he began using it as a defensive tactic. Haney's whole game now is jabbing and holding. Prograis said, "Take that away from him, and he's food for almost anyone from 135 to 147.
The Haney rematch, so it could be settled once and for all. What is your message? Obviously, you guys are going through the lawsuit right now, but if you and Devin can run it back again, under what terms would it be?
Run it back the same way, just a little higher weight.
Haney's ability to take a hard punch also came under scrutiny, with Regis Prograis suggesting that his chin will always be a weakness. This makes him especially vulnerable against power punchers like Ryan Garcia. The conversation then shifted to Haney's upcoming fight against former WBA and WBO champion Jose Ramirez. Prograis warned that Haney could face serious trouble if he struggles to control the action. "Ramirez is relentless," Prograis said. "If Haney can't rely on clinching, he may struggle." While many expect Garcia to knock Haney out again in a potential rematch, Prograis emphasized that Haney's fight with Ramirez will be a key test. "We've got to see what Devin does with Ramirez first," Prograis added. "In boxing, anything is possible."
Boy, Rolly. Give a little message, man. What's up with Ryan?
No vaccine.
You heard it.
Interestingly, Regis Prograis pointed out that Haney's chances of securing a rematch with Ryan Garcia might not even depend on whether he beats Jose Ramirez. According to Prograis, Turki Alalshik hasn't made it a requirement for Haney to win against Ramirez to get the October rematch. This means the rematch could happen regardless of the outcome, sparking plenty of debate among fans. Many believe Haney is taking a major risk by facing Ramirez before a potential rematch with Garcia. If Haney gets beaten badly, it could shatter his confidence and kill his momentum heading into a second fight with Garcia. On the other hand, if he defeats Ramirez convincingly, it could restore some of the respect he lost after his last bout. Prograis' comments weren't limited to just Haney and Garcia's fighting skills. He also highlighted the mental side of the game, suggesting Haney must make significant adjustments if he wants to stand a chance in the rematch. If Haney can come out of that and win, that would really show his greatness, Prograis said, referring to Haney overcoming his past loss and bouncing back strong. Although Haney and his camp never confirmed an injury, The visual evidence was enough to raise concerns among fans and analysts. Devin was repeatedly caught by Ryan Garcia's left hook, and by the later rounds, his jaw appeared severely swollen. Henry Garcia even revealed that Ryan privately told him he cracked Haney's jaw in one of the final rounds. Haney's refusal to quit may have worsened the injury, and Henry suggested that his father and trainer, Bill Haney, should have stopped the fight. Bill should have listened to Ryan and pulled Devin out, Henry said. He had no chance of winning and was getting clobbered. As the debate continues, many wonder if Garcia will have the same dominance against Rolly Romero. Will Ryan take down Rolly? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more.